In this video, I'm going to show you how to design a flowchart on Microsoft PowerPoint. And first is we're going to go to our first sample, and this sample here we're going to introduce a flowchart. Instead of you creating a box, like for example in here, and then typing whatever information that you want, you can just say compound 1. And in here you just introduce your line, whichever one that you think might be relevant. You drag it down, and then you can add other things that you want. This is quite complicated. We can just dive right into another alternative, and to get that alternative, what we go to is go to insert. On the insert, you're going to see SmartArt, and once you click on that, you're going to have a couple of drop down menu on the far left of this small box right here. This box here shows you different ways by which your specific category can be displayed. Like for example, our category, once you scroll down, you can actually see all the subcategories that are shown here but reviewed right over here. And when we click on list, for example, we're going to have this particular display that shows you something involving comparing or putting down a list of things in different categories. But this is not what we're looking at. We're looking for flowchart, and it's not actually shown directly on your choose a SmartArt graphic, but instead a clue that will lead you to thinking about flowchart is something called hierarchy. And hierarchy, once you click on that, you're going to see many options here, and some of the options include just a text format, which is just organizing specific text and putting lines in there to beautify what you want. Otherwise, there is a picture organization chart where your text is associated or it's paired with an image of your choice, and in this case we're going to use that as our first sample. And looking at this, we have this on the right side of your choose a SmartArt graphic that tells you more information about what you're about to dive into. And in this case here, picture organization chart used to show hierarchical information or reporting relationship in an organization with corresponding pictures. The assistant shape and the org chart hanging layouts are available with this layout. So this is really wonderful to see on this space here. Like what you see, that are the small rectangles, they represent the images that's going to be reviewed, while the line here represents the text that's associated with the image. And so once you click on OK, this is what we have right over here. Now, a couple of interesting mentions is once this is appeared, you're going to see a couple of interesting add-ons to these particular tabs on the top corner of your screen. And what we see are the following. We have SmartArt design, and once you click on these, we have different options that you can still change if you think that you don't want the picture text format. In addition, we have change color, and if you want to change the color of everything here from little light purple here to maybe, you know, dark purple, or any other ones of interest or specific boxes that you want, starting from where you are to others. Or in here we have general theme in terms of removing the color and just highlighting the outline, or many more. You can go for that. If you want to change a specific cell to whatever color that you want, in this case for this particular box here, all you do is right click on that, and you should have a specific color of choice that you want it to be. And so if you click on that, you should be good to go. Now, other honorable mentions are this particular drop down menu, which highlights different ways by which you can express your setup, either in 3D take or just modifying the two-dimensional takes on your specific cells. And so it's really incredible to see how these can be taken advantage of when it comes to improving the style of your SmartArt. Another one here to keep in mind is reset graphic. If for example you had this and you don't like it, you can just click to the original version and you're good to go. Finally here, convert to text means that in this case, if you have all these written in text format here and you have your graphic already here, you can change it to just purely text and that should reappear like this. So we don't have anything yet to type, but let's say for example, in this case, we have compound 1 and compound 2, and our goal is to separate compound 1 and compound 2. What we're going to do is for this particular section here, we're going to put down processes that are required to separate out compound 1 and compound 2. And so what we do here is we're going to highlight a couple of things, and once we have these, what we can do is move on to the next one, which is of course type up compound 1 compound 2. And so once we have these, let's see what's going to happen when we change these to just text format. And once you click on that, let's see what happens. So once you click on that, this is what we have as a result. We have not really something that we are translated properly, but what we see is just going from general to something more specific. Now moving back to the flowchart, we're going to look for other add-ons that will improve the communication and also engagement of your flowchart. Like for example here, if you want to at least click on this and manipulate the size, you can go for that. You can adjust this to whatever position that pleases you, and that is really awesome to see. In addition to this, what we have a couple of things on the far left of your screen, and in here looking at create graphic, these here are manipulatives that are important in terms of how you want to set up this flowchart, either by moving this or promoting this or demoting it. All these things are really important in terms of how you want your flowchart to look. Let's take for example, we have this particular cell right here and we want to remove it. You can just click on your blank space and you can remove this because we don't really need it for anything, and you can remove it right away, and clicking on blank space sets it up to now 2. And next here is if you want to promote, let's say this one here, what happens here is once you click on promote, it becomes now part of this particular first generation. And next here is if you want to demote it, you click on demote and it's between stage 1 and stage 2. Other things here that is important is in terms of this one, if you want to move this from right to left, all you do is click on that and it moves to the right. And likewise, if you click it again, it moves back to left. So I'm going to put it on the right side because I feel that is how my brain works, unfortunately, but that is fine by everyone. Next one here, if you want to add a shape, and to add a shape, what you can do is, in this case, in here to add a shape, all you do is click on this and you can add a shape after, you can add a shape before. If you see this here, I click on, let's say, after, and let's say you click on this and you click on it before. Let's see what happens. You see that it's now before this or after this. So that is something to keep in mind. Now another one here that is really incredible or interesting is add shape above, and what happens is that the shape is going to be added now above the specific cell that you clicked on. And so let's say for example we have these and we want to add below, is going to be below this particular cell, and what happens is that it's going to be in the second stage. And so this is how you're able to move on and build on a specific concept and improve on that particular idea of a specific subject area of interest. Now, the next one we're going to look at is the following. How are we going to be able to edit this without manipulating the editing in here based on the text, and also removing and adding cells to whatever that pleases you? And so to do that, what we do is click on text panel, and once you click on that, we have this arrangement set up. Now, a couple of key notes to be aware of is the following. On this side of your column are images that you're going to be adding to the specific text of your choice, and the text is highly linked to the one on the right side or right beside it, as you see right here. And as you click on each description, it is highlighted on your main flowchart, so that is something to be aware of. Now, in terms of adding a text, what you can do is click on this and type whatever thing that pleases you, like for example here, separate compound 1 from compound 2, and that is another way of editing without actually editing right here directly. Another thing to keep in mind also is, not only are you going to be able to add images to improve on the communication of your flowchart, this can also be helpful in terms of effectively doing that particular task. And there are a couple of ways to go about it. If you want to insert an image, you can either click on this particular square or this particular rectangle here, and once you click on anyone, that is actually fine, as you see right here. So in here you can upload from your specific computer, and that's what I'm going to do. There are other ways of uploading stuff in terms of images, either stock images or online pictures or from icons. So whichever one pleases you, you go for it. Now, in here, for example, if I want to insert image from my computer, this is what I have right here. I love this because this shows me compound 1 and compound 2. And once I click on that and hit on insert, this is what I get. Now, the problem here is that it is challenging to adjust or crop out things that you want. So it depends on how you want to design your specific graphic. And so what I'll suggest you do is manipulate that on the background before you're able to import it in here, so that it translates really well to the specific size that you want. So that is a downside to this. So another one here, for example, is all these compounds right here. If I click on these and I click on file and I want these compounds to show right here, let's see how it's going to look like when it is inserted in here. You see now more are actually revealed here, and this gives you a little bit of a tease. We have water compound here, we have our dichloromethane shown here, and a little bit of hydrochloric acid shown here. Now the problem as well is that when you're adjusting this, it just stretches it. It doesn't really show more about this particular text or image. So that is one thing also that is really not really the best for this particular software. Now, how about we want to change this particular image and put in a new one, something modified, to get it to reveal more about this particular content of the image. And now for you to do that, all you do is right click on the specific cell, and once you do that, you go down to change graphics and you go to this device, and once you click on that, we have this particular modified version of it. So hopefully this shows more when I click on it and insert it in here. So yeah, it's pretty much good. Pretty good. Still needs work to be done, definitely, but overall gives you a little bit of a feel on what is compound 1 and what is compound 2. Now, how can you improve the communication of this to show that this here is more of a lead to stage 2? And now for you to do that, all you do is just change the color, right click on it. We should be able to have fill, and we're going to change this to, let's keep it as orange. And once you click on that, you are good as gold. So those are the things to keep in mind in terms of building a flowchart. Couple of important information to keep in mind in terms of easy ways to create it without drawing your boxes and your arrows. But also another thing here to keep in mind is how to manipulate the text, not only in terms of the main flowchart, but also using the text panel, which is found after clicking on this right here. And to remove it, all you do is click on X, and to include it, all you do is go here and click on text panel, and you're good to go. Remember the use of all these here, they are really important. Another key thing to keep in mind also is that for this particular text panel, once you click on this, you don't see any option for move up or move down. However, when you click more of your second level areas, you see that yes, there is activation of your move up and move down. Once I click on move up, what happens is that is it, nothing happens. But then if I click on move down, you'll see that it is adjusting its position to the same level. So it only works for the same level and not after or before the level. So that's something to keep in mind. When it comes to something like, for example, between levels, even though you click on down and you click on move up, nothing actually happens. So that is one thing to be aware of in terms of how this is set up. So it's really recommended that you move this particular level to between levels enough for you to improve the clarity and to improve the communication. When you have this right here and you want to promote it, what happens is that it's now on the other level, but we don't want to be promoted. We don't want to promote this. We want it to be with the flowcharts to keep it flowing, and so that is how we're able to get this back to where it is right now. So now when it comes to multiple actions, what you can do is click on any of the boxes number of interest, like for example this box and this box right there, and what you can do is perform any of the actions here, and what's going to happen is it's going to change its positioning depending on what you want to do. Like for example, if I want to promote these two boxes, all I do is click on promote and it moves up to the second level. However, if I want to bring it to the fourth level, what I do is I click on demote and it moves to the third level and then to the fourth level if I click it again. And so this is how an action can be done to multiple boxes. Now let's say I want to add 3 boxes in a level, in this case the fourth level. What I do is you first click on this particular box first and then go to add shape, and this tool here gives you that access to add multiple boxes to the same level. And so if I click on, let's say after that, that is good. And so what I can do here is type whatever information I want, and that will be helpful. Now the difference between these two here and this two right here is that for this two here, I'm adding to the same level. However, for this two, I'm adding a new level to a general level. Let's take for example, let's say I remove this right here and I want to add a new level to this already existing general level. What I do is I click on add shape, go to whatever form I feel like it's more important, in this case add level below. What I do, I click on this and voila, now I'm adding a new level to an existing level, and so I can type in any information I want, and this is really brilliant. Those are the things to keep in mind. I hope you found this really informative. Please hit the comment down below. Let me hear your thoughts about Flowchart on Microsoft, the important things to be aware of, and how to be able to take advantage of the features to improve communication and most importantly engagement of the material so that everyone can understand it. And hope to see you all on the next one. All the same, stay smart as always and believe in yourselves.